Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Scares you. Traps you. Fear.
Don't trust anyone. Ever.
Feels good to get things out in the open and scream about them. It is a film about a group of kids that all love scary movies, who are then put in a situation where they are being preyed on by an anonymous killer. They find themselves unwillingly sometimes in those very cliche situations they sort of thought were so clever and fun to watch when they're watching scary movies.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. You like scary movies?
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number 1, you can never have sex. Sex equals death.
Don't have sex, you die. That would pretty much be Wes Craven's message to the youth of America. Abstinence, key.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
It goes from being sort of funny as you recognize classic film situations to terrifying when you see that it's really happening, and kind of baffling and intriguing because all of these things become sort of woven up in a single net of who is the killer, and which is kind of an impenetrable mystery, as it turns out in this film.
The police are always off track. If they watch Prom Night, they'd save time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
The first 30 pages of the script were probably like the most exciting 30 pages that I'd ever read.
I freaked out. And I put it down. And then I finished the next day during the light.
So, who are you?
The question isn't, who am I? The question is, where am I?
So, where are you?
Your front porch.
Why would you be calling from my front porch?
That's the original part.
Oh, yeah? Well, I call your bluff.
Uncovering the dark side of yourself and confronting it and chasing it away. That's what the movie's been about to me.
I was definitely dealing with a lot of depth in the character. When you try and find those levels, when you find a character, you don't want to just go with what's on the page. I do a lot of fighting with a couple of the characters in the film.
Nice shot.
Right. Like that?
Man, that was a good punch.
Nev, you nailed it.
Looks like we've got a serial killer on our hands.
Well, serial killer's not really accurate. Gotta knock off a couple more to get that title.
Well, we can hope, can't we?
I've always been a Wes Craven fan. I'm scared of him.
Wes Craven was sitting in the lobby of Miramax, and I recognized, as soon as I got off the elevator, I was like, that's Wes Craven, that's Wes Craven. And I had someone come up and they said, Wes, Kevin West. He went, Kevin Williamson? I said, yeah. He goes, I read your script. It was really scary. And I thought, I can lay down and die.
Well, it was funny because, my name's even mentioned.
The killer's still out there.
Don't go there, Sam. You're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick or something.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, that's right. I liked that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest suck.
I kind of wanted to take that out, I did not write that line.
With the amalgamation of Kevin's script and Wes's direction, I knew you couldn't go wrong, because Wes would bring Kevin's brilliance to life in the most graceful way.
It's like, you're a junkie. You want that, you want that scary feeling. And a lot of people, it's like a drug. You want more.
You want to go into a dark theater, have the lights turn out, and just there's something about being scared out of your wits that has always appealed to me, and I think it appeals to everybody.
They go to scary movies because they already have certain fears. And the movie brings it out in a way that's fun because you're not going to be hurt. As something has been exercised, some terrible tension has been relieved momentarily. And so it performs some sort of arcane service to the psyche.
Ready, Ed? Action! You're not scared, are you?
Anything else you want, Wes Craven, director of this major motion picture?
No.
Twice. That's why she walked up. That's good, Mary Jane. Orders and shoes, sir?
Number 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Okay.
Background!
Ready? Yeah. So, David, a couple things. I'm just keeping an eye on things. This is the first line rather than checking things out because you're checking out the party. And
Stupid.
and then you do the jump first, and then you take your head off.
Right.
Don't come in and scared.
I can't do it.
Tony will be back this fun. Yeah, I want to match. Ask her things like this. So if you want to do exactly.
I'll send you a copy.
One more. I think when you see him do the oh shit and look and then come back out like that, I think that curiosity should really face around.
Okay.
Right, rather than sit around and looking back to his phone.
Okay.
Like, what is going on?
So just keep looking.
Well, once he goes out and looks,
Just keep
like
looking.
he's going to help. Then he comes back and looks. Then you look, right? Because he's looking.
Right.
And then he goes back and you're like looking at like, where's he going? What's going on? No, you're just turned back.
Oh. So, but the first time you don't want me to look out when he looks out?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
But when he goes out the second time, don't you just turn back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll, sir.
We're rolling. Rolling!
Mark it.
And only 106 Apple Take 5 marker.
Set here. Okay, roll video. Lots of animation ready.
Oh, shit! Behind you, kid! Behind you!
Oh, shit.
What?
That's the one.
Ready? Ready, and action!
All right.
And we're going to stop right here.
Okay.
Checking.
Got in one, Drew. Okay, Drew.
I think we're ready, Drew. Very good.
Hey, Wes. Can we get a little picture here? Good. Hold it right. Hold it right there.
I love, strange things like Repulsion and The Tenant. I love Hitchcock films. I love Night of the Living Dead. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love just about anything Cronenberg did when he was doing those kind of genre films. Alien. I have very eclectic tastes.
The Shining was pretty freaky. That you could call that a horror film because it's really disturbing. I'd say probably The Shining. I also saw one called The Changeling that really freaked me out because it was about, spirits. And when it comes to spirits, I have more of a belief in spirits, or it seems more real.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is my favorite scary movie.
My favorite scary movie would probably be Rosemary's Baby.
Definitely Psycho.
Friday the 13th, the original. And I remember going with my friends, and I just thought, oh my God. I mean, it was great. It was quite the ride.
Salem's Lot.
Straw Dogs, I thought was, a Clockwork Orange, that kind of scary movie, not as intense as Wes's, a different kind of scary movie.
I like old movies like Gaslight and things like that. I find those more like the psychological thrillers, like kind of more terrifying.
A long time ago, and I'm dating myself, but there was a film, I think, with Vincent Price called 13 Ghosts, and that was scary.
Terror Train scared the hell out of me. Clown masks coming at me with a knife.
I just remember being just terrified by just movies like The Birds or, Exorcist, things like that.
The movie that I remember upsetting me the most was The Exorcist, I think. I'm not a smoker, but I remember I smoked 7 cigarettes in a row when I watched that movie and threw up immediately afterwards.
Probably one with the greatest impact, which is kind of cool with this, was Halloween. Seeing some of the scenes cut together here, I can remember, being in high school and going to see that movie. And the impact, that just sitting on the edge of my seat. And that's why you wanted to take girls to those kind of movies, because I can just imagine, my teenage equal nowadays, get her and she gets real scared and she might want to hold hands, and all that stuff, and they get scared. That's another reason I like those scary movies.
Burnt Offerings. I still think about the color of that swimming pool when that little boy was under there and that man was getting killed. It just gives me shivers. Oof.
Nightmare on Elm Street, probably. I don't want to push it, but
I watched Halloween when I was 10 years old, and it was the scariest movie I ever saw in my life. In fact, it's my favorite movie of all time. And it is the movie that is responsible for me being in the business of writing and being in the whole movie industry. So, I mean, for most people, it's Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, but for me, it's Halloween.
I think it's a great release of tension. Scary movies, somehow, they take you on a roller coaster ride, and they kind of address fears that you already have. And, I don't think people like to be scared, so that's not why they go to scary movies. They go to scary movies because they already have certain fears, and the movie brings it out in a way that's fun because you're not going to be hurt. You know probably that the person that you're most identifying with, the hero or heroine, is going to survive and probably triumph. So, and you go with friends, so you come out sort of laughing and exhilarated and happy, and beyond that, it's a mystery. But I just know that audiences coming out of really scary films, the scarier their film are, the happier they seem to be.
Everybody has a different form of excitement. Some people like to laugh, some like to cry, some like to be scared. And it's very obvious from all of the horror films that people love to be scared. And it's just something in them that on a 9-to-5 basis they don't get that kind of adrenaline.
I think that there's a real visceral kind of relationship between the horror film and the horror fanatic. I mean, you go and you sit in the seat and you're checking out the film and you get a rush. There's an adrenaline rush.
I mean, I think kids go to amusement parks. I think they like to test their fear and survive and come out and happy and alive. And I think it's just a matter of that. People who like to go on Ferris wheels or roller coasters, same thing. They like to go to movies and scream their, guts out.
Because people want to be scared. They're scary, and they like to be shocked because people have regular jobs and they don't see murders during the day in their life, and they want to be shocked and jolted.
We all have an evil side in us. There's always, some kind of evil that lurks within our souls that, we never get to act out. So to go and see a film and be entertained by those emotions and things that we never actually come through with in our lives is kind of a trip, to watch someone else do that and watch someone else be evil. Can get off on it, I think that's why.
You want to be on a roller coaster ride. You want to go into a dark theater, have the lights turn out, and just there's something about being scared out of your wits that has always appealed to me, and I think it appeals to everybody. Even though, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but there's something about get the old adrenaline rush and just start shaking and screaming, and then you walk out of the theater and you're just taken for a ride.
Hey, it's Lisa here with more on horror. The Exorcist was the first horror film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. Now, the horror genre has never gotten much love from the Academy, though there still seems to be a bias against scary movies during awards season. The Exorcist earned 10 Oscar nominations in 1974, including Best Supporting Actress nod for Linda Blair, who was just 15 years old at the time. Now, do you like my shirt? You can get one in the description below.